going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels to look out for moving into the future, and based on that, what the stock could do. So you guys have killed it with the support lately, and I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you want to hit that like button down below and subscribe to my channel if you are new, I really appreciate you. And wasting no more time, let me get right into the video and hit record. So taking a look at Apple, we were actually down a little bit on the day, about 83 cents, which is 0.67%, down another 11 cents after hours, but pretty much flat after hours there, which is good. So right out of the gate, right, it was a totally different story. Now, if we take a look kind of where we ended and where we kind of started, right, it doesn't seem like a lot happened during the day, but actually, right out of the gate, Apple fell. We broke this 121.50 level of support we were talking about, down all the way to 120.55, and then had a kind of $2 swing to the positive to kind of make us only be 83 cents down. So let's take a look at the Nasdaq. We were down about 0.23%. A little bit of a gap down there, and then recovered a decent amount of it. Like I said, the Dow was up 39 points for the day, kind of rallying in that second half. The same with S&P 500, down only 43 cents for the day, which is 0.12%. So not a terrible down day overall, but it definitely looked a lot worse from the get-go. So let's take a look at how Apple stock was trading. So yesterday, when we had kind of ended the day, we were here in the 123s. And I talked about, the main thing we would want to look at is that 121.50 level kind of holds up, and we hopefully make a push for the high of day yesterday and the high of day of the day before. But what we saw was, right out of the gate, didn't seem like that was going to happen, because we started, first of all, we kind of started lower in the mid 122s, but we fell right out of the gate, broke below this 120.150 level, kind of played around, and then came up. But so we went about 50 cents below it, went 50 cents above it, and then as we could see here, right, we were kind of going above it, below it, above it, below it, and bouncing off of the VWAP, right? So the VWAP is something that Apple stock was not able to break through, and then finally over here, when it broke through, we went all the way down. That's when things were looking kind of gross for a little bit there. As you could see, right, we weren't pushing towards the support level. We weren't pushing towards the VWAP. Just everything was looking kind of gross. But for the second half of the day, right, it's like a mirror image. If you take a look at this gap right here, this gap right there, right, below VWAP, above VWAP. So relative weakness, relative strength, right? So from the, like I've been saying, right, at the half of the day is when we sort of flipped script. So the second half of the day, we were kind of pushing up in the gap between the VWAP and the stock price sort of, increased as well, but for the good side. So let's take a look at, why this bounce happened and how you could have sort of seen it coming, right? So you guys know that, we're looking at a couple things, right? We are looking at, on the daily chart, we are looking at the, 121.50 level, and then 119, 117 as levels of support and or resistance, depending on where the stock is. But we're also taking a look at the EMAs, right? So let's do that. And we can kind of see, actually, let's take a look at the daily action first. So we made a lower high for the fourth day in a row now. We did not make a lower low than yesterday, so the bounce was a little bit nicer than yesterday's bounce. But as we could see, right, not much action there overall. We opened 122.43, we closed 122.41. So not much action there, close to close, but like we saw, there was about a $2 swing going down and then coming right back up. So in terms of levels of resistance, right, when we're moving up, what are we kind of watching moving forward? The first level being today's high. We're not too far from it. We're at 122.41. I think that level comes in at 122.76. Again, the high will be right here next to the H. If we were able to hit this high of today, next high is yesterday's high of 123.87. Then we've got 125.95. And that would be kind of the point where we are being taken back to, this level right here, or excuse me, we already took that one out. So it actually takes us back to 9/3, September 3rd, where the high of the day was 120. Oh, I got scared. I was on the day before, 128.84, and then the day before we were kind of in the high 130s, which was the high of all-time high for Apple. So those are kind of the levels to look for, right? Since we are making, and I think I said for the past 4 days, now that I look, it's actually for the past 3 days, we're making lower highs. So the high of the day before kind of becomes the first level to watch out for as we go up. From a support level perspective, right, we're again above this 121.50 level. And as you could see, you know, multiple times, we could even scroll back, but this 121.50 level has acted as a good level of support right there, kind of right there, here, and today, even though we fell kind of below it for a little bit there, right? The fact that we closed above it, the fact that anytime you approach a level, you're taking time to sort of think, right? So when Apple was going down, it was kind of going up, going down, going up, going down at that level, and that level acts as a pivot point. When it goes up, it can get rejected. When it goes down, it can act as support. So it can hold, I still think that, you know, that 121.50 level is a good level to take a look at. Then we've got the 119, as well as the low point for today, which is 120.55. But let me throw the EMAs on here and I'll kind of explain why I said we could have seen this coming, right? So you guys know I talk about the AEMA a lot, and the AEMA is what I like to see the stock kind of above, and I'd like to see it ride the AEMA and for it to kind of use that as a level of bounce. Now, we are at 122.41 and the AEMA is 122.29. So currently we are sitting kind of right on top of the AEMA. I would like to see that continue on Monday, but from a level of support perspective, right, what we see is we've got the 21 EMA coming in at 120.37, and our low for today was 120.55. So we were 18 cents away from that 21 EMA. You know, if you take a look here, that bounce of this at the bottom of this candle off of the 21 EMA looks pretty nice. If we go to yesterday's chart, right, take a look at this right here, we perfectly bounced off of it. Our low was 120.15 and the 21 EMA was 120.16. So, you know, my purpose in kind of sharing this with you is, you know, let's say come Monday you are trading, you're in Apple, it starts going down again. You could put these EMAs on your own chart and kind of see, you know, what is the point that I'm looking at. Now, these EMAs aren't all that I look at, but it's something that I like to look at, you know, as a great level of support if the stock decides to go down on me. So we've got the AEMA, which the stock is riding. That's something that I'm closely monitoring. We've got the 21 EMA that's acted as good support kind of the past 2 days. And then we've got the 34 EMA right at 119.15, which kind of aligns with our 119 level. We've got the 55 EMA at 117.39, which really nicely aligns with our 117 level. And then we've got the 89 EMA coming in all the way down at 113.74, which again kind of aligns with that 113 level. So great that, you know, our levels that we're looking at are kind of aligned with our EMAs, kind of gives me more confidence in that level of support. But from what it does kind of in the future, right, I would like, you know, the past 2 days it's gone down, but kind of come back up, which is great news for the stock. It means the dips are being bought. We're not seeing a sell-off yet. Next week is options expiration week, so we could see a little bit of a rally, but we could also see some funky action going on depending on where the big money kind of has their options bets, right? So just something to keep in mind. Hope you guys all had an amazing week so far and have an amazing weekend, you know, going into the weekend. And you guys were able to stay safe and stay green this week trading in the stock market. So that's all I had for you guys today. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new and like these videos. And comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.